Hello. Okay, so the purpose of this video is to kind of show you how abstractions and procedures work. Okay, so I'm just going to just call it, I guess I'll just call it abstractions, procedures. Don't forget to press that orange share button so I can kind of see what kind of program you guys are creating. But anyway, let's go ahead and do that. Okay, so let's start off with something simple. So let's say we wanted to find like a particular number times 7 that would be considered user friendly. So let's go ahead and just start off with that. So we start off with the green flag. When the green flag is clicked, we're going to have the cat ask us, well, this could say, give me a magic number. Oh, cannot spell. Give me a magic number, right? And then what we want to do is we're going to create a variable, right? Let's just call this variable x, okay? So I'm gonna go ahead and we need this here. So we're going to set our variable x equal to whatever we make our answer to be, whatever we give the sprite. And then what we want to do is we want to go ahead and put this down here, and we're going to use a little math operation, right? So little math operation here, and then we do x times 7, and the cat is going to say x times 7 for some amount of seconds. Let's just try it, see if it works. Okay, so give me a magic number. So let's say give it 5. So if this program is running the way we hope to intend, it'll do 5 times 7, which is 35. Good. Okay, we can just try one more time just in case. Give me a magic number. Try 9. So 9 times 7 should be 63. Okay, so this means that it is working the way that we want it to work. Okay, so let's start off by creating an abstraction. Okay, so abstractions basically combine code in such a way so that you can use code over and over and over again without having to repeat what you have done before in another program, and it could help you with future programs. Okay, and one way that this can be done is through creating a procedure in Scratch. Okay, so in other words, what we're going to do is we are going to create a block. So if you see down here, there's a red color. There's a red color here. We're going to go ahead and click that. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and create a block. So make a block. Let's just call it multiply by 7 or something. Multiply by 7. Okay, so now we're creating a block. We actually can modify a little bit. Like we want to change this part here. So we want to create a procedure for this, so we can make our program maybe a little bit more easier to read. Okay, so let's try and do this. Okay, so what I see is that let's say I were to just kind of think about what we need. So if I were to move this here, and if I were to move this here, that's one way that we could get it to work. It should still work the way it does, right? So let's say I just put in 7, so like 7 times 7 is 49. Now what we can do to make this even better is we can go ahead and create a parameter. So a parameter, if you're wondering, it's like a variable. Okay, so I'll show you a different way that you could create this. Yeah, so what we have here is what you could do is we could even modify this even more. So what I'm going to do, right click. I'm going to right click on this block here. I'm going to edit it. So you see that there's little options that we have here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to add an input. So adding an input here, this kind of acts like a variable. We'll call it anything. In this place, we'll just call it x. Okay, we'll just make it simple. We'll just call it x. Okay. Now, so another way that we can represent this, if you're wondering, so we're going to go ahead and modify this. We're just going to go ahead and, actually, we don't need this. We're going to go ahead and delete this here, okay? And we don't need this variable anymore. We're going to delete that as well. So these pinkish ovals, if you're wondering, so these are called parameters. Okay, so within this procedure that you see here, we can create a parameter. And parameters basically can be used like variables. They are basically the input values of a procedure. So what we can do is we can drag this parameter and we can use it in our program as so. Now, the way that we can get this a little bit user friendly, what we can do is we can go ahead and put our answer here. So if you guys are wondering, so the way this a procedure works is you're gonna have it give a magic number, and then whatever number we put in here, so based on our answer, whatever number we put in here, this gets passed into this procedure. Okay, so I'll go if I go ahead and click this here, so it says give me a magic number. So magic number, we can say like 5 or something, right? So that means program is going to say 35. And then we can just try, just for fun, maybe try 10. So it's going to be 10 times 7 is 70. So it is working the way that I'm hoping it would work. Okay. Next, what I'm going to do is I'm going to just go ahead and edit this so I can kind of show you how this is working. Okay. Bye. Hello. All right, so let's go ahead and just edit this a little bit, just kind of show you what's going on. Okay, so actually I copy pasted this beforehand, so I just want to give you just an idea how this works. Okay, so you see this part here, so this is where the program calls the procedure. So this part here, because this is where our program starts with, so this is where the program calls the procedure. This part here, so that I'm gonna go ahead and put that there. So this is where we allow the user to input a value. So you can put anything there. So this is where we allow the user to input a value to be passed into the procedure. Okay? So whatever we put in here, so this gets taken and gets plugged in to here. So as you see what we did with our numbers, like we tried certain numbers like 5 or 10. So that is what gets passed into this procedure, and this parameter is what gets thrown in here. So that's why it's saying like 5 times 7 is 35, or 10 times 7 is going to be 70. So that just kind of shows you how that works. So this part here is called the procedure, right? And what I mentioned earlier is this thing here is called the parameter. Okay, so that's the procedure, and that is the parameter. Just some things that I wanted to show you. Okay, all right. So I don't need that anymore. That is just there for you to see that. So this basically is the idea of how abstraction works. So basically, it just reduces the complexity, and it just allows us to look at the main idea of what this program is doing. So the main idea in this case would be that we're asking the user for a number, and then we're using a procedure, or in this case, I guess a mini calculator, to calculate our results. Let's say we just created multiple of these, or more of these, just so you guys can kind of see what else we can do. So for example, we could go ahead, I'm just gonna go ahead and drag this here. Okay, and then we could say something even like give me another magic number. So give me another magic number. We could actually create another block. So if I go ahead and create another block, let's say we want to find a number squared, right? So we'll just call it number squared. Okay, we're gonna find a number squared. Okay, so let's think about what we need. Okay, again, kind of like this, we want to create something like this. So we know we're going to need a parameter somewhere. So what we can do is we can right click, edit, and then we need a parameter. So we're going to add an input, and then we can just call it anything. We call it, you can call it X if you want. I'm just going to call it something else. I'm just going to call it Y. Let's just call it Y. Okay? So what we can do here, so if you guys don't know what a number squared is, you're just taking a number times number, and you're going to display the output, right? So if I just go here, and then if I go ahead and go to the operators, and I go ahead and drag this in here, so we have a number times a number, and it's going to say that for 2 seconds. Okay, so give me another magic number, and in order for us to make a call to the procedure, we need to put this in here. Okay, so number squared, and then we're going to have put this answer here. So when it says give me another magic number, you can put anything, and it's going to pass this here into the procedure, and which is the parameter which will be placed into here. Okay, so let's try it just for fun. Let's just start from the top. Okay, give me a magic number. So let's say we start off, we say 8. So it's gonna go here, 8 goes here, 8 comes up here as a parameter, 8 times 7 should be 56. Okay, then program says give me another magic number. So now it's asking our value for number squared. So number squared, let's say we do like 9 or something. Okay, so this 9 is going to be passed into here for this parameter, and it's going to do 9 times 9. So 9 times 9 should be 81. Okay, so yeah, you can do a lot of neat things with this if you wanted to. You could go ahead and let's say yeah, you could create multiple ones of these if you wanted to. And if you wanted to, so these procedures can get really long if you are starting to get used to creating more complex code. But we're starting off really simple. Okay. Let's say I made another one. Let's say I make another block. I'll just call it number cube. Num cube. Okay. So define num cube. So we could even do something like we could say like give me another magic number. All right, yes, magic numbers. Yep, give me another magic number, and we can do it kind of similarly. So if you guys don't know what a number cubed is, basically a number cubed is going to be a number times a number times a number, right? So we're going to need another parameter. So we need to go ahead and go to here. I'm going to right click, edit. We need a parameter. We'll just call it anything. We'll just call it Z. Press OK. And then what we need to do is we need to, in order to make the cube, right? So we're going to need the multiplier. We're going to need this twice, actually, I believe, because we need to do this, and we need to drag this into here. So we can drag our parameters. So we have Z times Z times Z, right? So give me another magic number, and then we can go ahead and we're going to make a call to this procedure. So we're going to go number cubed, whatever is our answer that we would get here. Okay, so let's see if this works. Okay, give me a magic number. Let's just say we did 2. Okay, so then when it comes up here, it's going to do the multiply by 7. So 2 times 7 is going to be 14. Okay, it's going to come down here, give me another magic number. It's going to run the number squared procedure. So let's say we try 10. So if we do number squared, just go 10 times 10, and that should be 100. There we go. And then give me another magic number. If we're doing number cubed, let's say we plug in 4, right? So number cubed, 4 times 4 times 4, that should give 64. Let's see. There we go. And that's how you do that. So that's just an idea how you could use procedures if you want to do something like this. We could go ahead and we could put a repeat block. We could put, if you wanted to, we could do a repeat block here. We can just make it repeat like 2 times or something. Okay, let's go ahead and try it one more time just so you can see it. Give me a magic number. Let's say we try 1. So 1 times 7, it'll do a multiply by 7. So it's going to be 1 times 7 is 7. Okay, give me another magic number. Okay, let's try 3. Okay, so when 3 gets passed into here, and we have 3 times 3, So that means our output is going to be 9. Okay, give me another magic number. So now we are here. Okay, so let's see. Let's say I gave it like 5. Okay, so 5 gets plugged into here. 5 times 5 times 5 should be 125. There we go. All right. Give me another magic number. So as you see here, we're repeating this process twice. So we did it once, and then we're going to do this a second time. So give me another magic number. Let's try 6. So 6 times 6 times 6, because doing the number cubed. So 6 times 6 times 6 should be 216. Let's see if that's 216. There we go. All right. So that gives you an idea how this works. Okay. We'll go over a few more things before I close the video, and I'll see you next video. Okay, bye. Hello. All right, so this is a completely different example, as you can see. If you guys did this little mini project, if you guys remember what we did, right? So basically, if we press the left arrow, we can get the sprite to move left, or we can get the sprite to move right, or go up, or go down, as you can see. Okay, so what we can do is that we can actually replace some of the blocks that we show here with a procedure. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to just make a block, like what I showed you earlier. I'm going to make a block, and let's say instead I create this block, and then we'll just call it cat motion. Okay, so cat motion, and let's think about two of the things that are happening when we move left, right, up, or down. So as you can see, direction is used, and as well as the number of steps that we're going is also used. So we could actually create two parameters in this case. So like I showed you in the first example, as you can see here, we used examples that only use one parameter. We can actually do this, so we can actually create two parameters. So we can just double click this, boom, this is 1, and this is 2. Let's go ahead and name it something, so just something useful that we can use it as. We can call this this will represent the direction, and then basically this part here we'll just call it a number of steps. Okay, so or we'll just call it steps. We'll just call it steps. Okay, so what we're going to do with this, as you can see, so we can kind of replace some of the things that we have here underneath, and we can still make the program work the way we want it to. Okay, so as we see here, let's go ahead and just kind of detach some of these things, just so I can kind of see what we are using for all these. So okay, so what we're actually going to do with this is we're going to create blocks. Not blocks, but we're going to attach what we see in here underneath. Okay, so as you can see here, so what if I just did this here, and I just put this here, and I put this here, and I put this here. Okay, so all these things, you see all these little things that we have here, we can actually create this under the procedure that you see here. Okay, so what we can do is, so we're defining cat motion, and then the direction and number of steps. Okay, so what we have here is, if I were to just kind of create something else, let's go ahead and so point in direction. Okay, so point in direction is going to be based off our, I guess, direction. I guess I know that's a little weird, but basically that will be represented by the first number. So this number, this number, this number, and this number, and then we can go ahead and move a certain amount of steps. Maybe I should have called this something better, but basically we're going to move a certain amount of steps based on this. Okay, so well, this part here, this is what gets replaced here, 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 and here. Okay, so this is why I had this here, just so you can kind of see what we're doing. So basically we're going to point in direction -90, and then we're going to move 10 steps. Okay, so we don't need this anymore. For the up arrow, it's going to move in the direction 0, and then it's going to move 10 steps. So we don't need this anymore. Now what we have, this one, cat is going to go 180, and we're going to move 10 steps. We don't need this anymore. And this one is going to be 90 and 10. Okay, so we don't need this anymore. And so as you see what we have here, I believe it should still work the way we want it to. Pressing the left arrow, the right arrow, up and down, as you can see. So if you guys are having a hard time understanding what's happening, so as you can see, it's working the way we want it to. I'm gonna go ahead and just take a not a screenshot, but just a little snippet, I guess, of what we have here, just so you can kind of see how this works. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and clear the screen. I actually don't need this anymore. Oh gosh, what happened here? Okay, I need to just clear the screen. Okay, sorry, there we go. All right, so just so you guys can kind of see what's happening. So what we have here. So this means that first, if you guys don't know set rotation left right, that means the cat is just fixed going left and right, just so it's not like, you know, that all around rotation style. It's just moving either left or right. Okay, so if you guys are having a hard time seeing what's happening for this, so this -90, this comes here. Okay, so this means point in direction -90. We're pointing in the direction -90, so we're going this way. That's the purpose of the left arrow. Then we're going to move it. We're going to move it amount of steps. So this part here represents the amount of steps. So I'm just going to go up here, as you can see, and this represents the number of steps. So this, as you can see, is what goes here. So moving a certain amount. So we're moving in the direction -90, and then we're moving 10 steps. So that's kind of how you read this. So this is how you call this procedure, and it does multiple things. So as you can see, what we have in this one points in direction 0, so it's going up, moving 10 steps. This one points in direction 180, so that's going down, moving 10 steps. And this one says you're going to point in direction 90, so this way we're going right and moving 10 steps. So yeah, that's why, if you can kind of see, that's why the program works this way. Okay, so what we can do if you wanted to is we could actually manipulate this even more. Like, let's say we wanted to change this to like 50, and then let's say we wanted to change this, well, you know what, we'll just keep it at 10. Maybe we'll keep this 10, and the right arrow is going to be 50. So as you can kind of see here, if you look at the x-coordinate, look at the x-coordinate, so it's going 50, 50, 50, 50, 50, and then so that's the left arrow as well. If I go up, then it's going to change by 10. So see, 10, and then it goes down, it should also change by 10. So yeah, you can modify this however you want. You could make this even less if you wanted. You could make this like 30, and then you can make this like 1 or something, right? So it's gonna take forever. If I'm pressing the right arrow, it's taking forever, but it goes left, you go 30, right? But this is taking forever if I go right. I can make the up arrow, I can modify the up arrow, I can just go like 100. And in this one, when I press down arrow, maybe I'm going like 5, right? So up arrow, boom, look at that. I press the up arrow, now he's way up on the screen. Now I press the down arrow, I'm trying to get him all the way back down. If I press up arrow again, boom, it comes all the way back up. And then, so yeah, you can play around with this. And you can kind of modify all these things to do whatever you want it to do. So yeah, this is kind of neat. I just wanted to show you basically how this little 2-parameter procedure would work. Okay, that's basically it for this video, and then I'll show you something else. Okay, bye. Hello. All right, so basically in this video I'm going to show you what else you can do with the procedure. Okay, so if you're wondering, let's go back to that shape generator. You know, that shape generator that I had you guys do in class? So let's go ahead and go back to that. So let's see, like when the space key is pressed, let's say we have the cat go to a certain position. We'll just call it 0, 0, just to make it simple. We're going to point in the direction 90 to start off. We want it to face that way. And if you guys remember the pen extension, figure out how to do that, go to the bottom left. I'm going to add the pen extension. And then what we're going to do is we could erase all, and then we're going to put the pen down. And then if you guys remember how to create, like let's say we want to create a square. If we want to create a square, we need to repeat this action 4 times. And then we're going to move a certain amount of steps. Let's say we move like 50 steps. And then we're going to turn clockwise 90 degrees. So 360 divided by 4 is going to be 90 degrees. Let's just see if this works. All right, so we create a square. Let's make this smaller. It's kind of bugging me a little bit. Let's make it smaller just so we can kind of see the square. There we go. So now he's just created, if we're pressing space, the cat is going to create a square. Okay. Let's say we were to modify this a little bit. So we were to go ahead and use a procedure. Okay. So what we can do with this, if you're wondering, is we can try to, let's say we wanted to make like a bunch of squares, right? So what we can do is we can go ahead and create a block here. And what we're going to do, so we're going to create a block. I'm just going to call this shape generator or something. Shape generator. Okay, so I'm going to press OK. All right. So what we have here is I'm just going to go ahead and put this here. All right. So this is where it gets a little bit interesting. So what we can do is we can just put this here, and then we could even put the shape generator like this underneath here, and it still work the way it works. Yeah. So if I press spacebar, it's making a call to the procedure. So that's how it's making this work. Okay. Let's say we wanted to modify this a little bit, right? Let's say instead of like squares, I guess, let's say we wanted to go ahead and just create just anything, I guess, like any type of shape. So like I showed you earlier, right? We could go ahead and we could use that parameter. We could call it, that variable. The variable we used previously was called sides, because sides was related to the number of degrees that you went to go ahead and enclose the shape. So if I right click here, press edit, and then I add an input. So let's say I just call it the parameter that we're going to use. We're going to call it sides. So I'm going to press OK. All right. So basically what we can do here is if I drag sides into here, and then basically if you guys remember the little formula that we used, so the little formula, we drag this into here, and we just go 360 divided by the number of sides, right? Because this is going to be 4. 360 divided by 4 is going to be 90. Okay. So, and then what we need to do is we need to put a number in here. So if we put a number in here, if we put 4, right? 4 gets passed here, and it should still work the way we want it to work. So if I press space, it is creating a shape. It's creating a square. Okay. Let's go ahead and modify it just a little bit. We can actually, if we want to go to a different location, let's say we don't want it to mark where we go next. So we're going to use this pen up. We'll use this pen up, so the pen is up instead of down. Okay. And then let's say we just glide maybe like 1 second to like a random position. So what we could do here is if I were to press space, so it's going to draw the square, the pen is up, and it's just going to go to random position in Scratch. Let's see. So yeah, it's going to go to random position now. Now let's say we wanted the procedure to draw it again. Right, so what we could do is we can go back to our block, and then we can put a shape generator, and then we can just press 4. Okay, so if I press 4 here, if I press space, it's gonna see it's just going to another random place. It's gonna draw another square. Let's say I were to go ahead and I could put, you know what, I can have this repeat if I wanted to, right? If I put a repeat, I can make this repeat like 5 times or something. So if I press the space, there's 1. Oh, something a little bit funny happens there because we're on the edge. But yeah, just what you can see, basically drawing 5 different squares. Okay, but that's just an example. Yeah, I know this example is not perfect. Maybe this will. I'm not sure if this will make it work, but I mean, we could do something like that maybe. But anyway, the basic idea is I just wanted to show you how you can use a procedure. So that if on edge bounce, that means it. Well, maybe it'll bounce when it goes off the when it hits the edge. Okay, let's go ahead and make this like a little more friendly. Like, let's say we don't want to create squares. What if we want to create like pentagons? So 5 would go here. What if we want to create an octagon? Then 8 would go here. What if we want to create a hexagon? 6 would go here. Now we get a little magic. Let's press the space bar. Let's see what happens. So create a square, then it creates a pentagon, and then an octagon, and then a hexagon. So isn't that amazing? So we could go ahead and modify this however we want. We can put a 3 here. We can put a 6. We can put a 7. We'll try it. Maybe we'll try 10. I don't know. Let's try it. Let's see. 3, 6. Okay. All right. 7-sided figure. And there's our 10-sided figure. All right. So if you can kind of see what we're doing here. So yeah. So we're just using this procedure over and over again without having to copy our code so much. And it's just a little bit more readable if someone needs to go ahead and like just read it. I can go ahead and just change it. Let's say we'll change it. Let's say I have a 4 here, 8, 5, and then 3 or something if I press space. All right, there's a square. Oops, something funny happened. Okay, the edge thing didn't work, but whatever. Main idea, I just wanted to show you how this procedure works. Maybe you guys can figure it out. Maybe you guys can actually figure out, like, well, maybe it'll when it hits the edge, maybe you can try to make sure that it doesn't mess up when it draws it. But yeah, basically I just wanted to show you how this works. All right, so those are these. If you're wondering, these are just a bunch of different examples that you could use if you're wondering. Just so you can use abstractions. You can use abstractions, and basically just shows you how procedures and parameters just work. All right, and that is basically it. All right, let me know if you have any questions. Okay, bye.